Malawi's Minister for Homeland Security, Richard Chimwendo Banda, has signed the extradition papers for Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary. This is a step closer to securing the extradition of Prophet Bushiri and his wife, who contravened their bail conditions and fled South Africa last November. According to the Minister of Information, Gospel Gazako, the Attorney General will be taking the documents to court to rule for the warrants of arrest of the Bushiris, a decision at the behest of the court.
The minister responsible, this is the Minister for Homeland Security, has signed the documents, and the Attorney General will be taking these documents to the High Court in Lilongwe. What they are seeking for the issuance of the warrants of arrest for the Bushiris. So yeah, there's some movement. And at the moment, we don't know what the court will say or what the court will rule or what the court will decide. In this country, we have an independent judiciary. What the state has done is to make the necessary submissions for the court to look at them. And it is in the same vein that we may also not be able to know until when the court will rule, because, as you know, Malawi has an independent judiciary. So it might be done maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. We are yet to hear. But this has been submitted to the High Court this afternoon.
South Africa sent the formal extradition request on the 4th of December, requesting Malawi to abide by the Sadc protocols to return the Bushiris to face trial in South Africa. A former Deputy Director of Public Prosecution at the NPA, Advocate Johan Dutoit, says South Africa has a solid case to have the Bushiris extradited.
We also got a bilateral treaty between Malawi and South Africa. So our legal basis is based on two premises. The one is the bilateral treaty that we have with Malawi, and the other one is the regional treaty that we have as part of Sadc countries. So our legal basis to request for extradition is very, very sound in law. And I, with due respect, I don't know how Malawi will get out of this. The legal basis is very solid.
He says though South Africa has a case, the extradition takes up to a year for the guilty party to be returned to the country.
I think at least if it's in dispute, I think from my practical experience, it will at least take a year for everything to be done.
He says what favors South Africa is the regional treaties signed between South Africa and other Sadc countries.
What is in our favor at the moment is that we have a bilateral and a regional treaty with Malawi. That is why the minister is now responsible for dealing with that. As I said in the beginning, if that is not the case, then the president must get involved to give the green light. And that can sometimes cause even more delay because the relation between the two countries are maybe not so well. They don't have treaties. So that is why you have to go up to the level of the president to give the green light. But in this instance, when I was at the NPA, we've also asked for extradition, to Malawi, and they've granted it to us. I think I'm not a politician, so I don't know what really happens between closed doors. But as you can see from the statement issued by our Minister of Justice, he said that he's very encouraged. There's a good cooperation between the two countries, and hopefully that will not cause a problem.
However, Bushiri's lawyer Wapona Kita has a different opinion.
The Sadc treaty to be brought to a test within the Malawi judicial system, because the mere fact that we signed that treaty does not automatically mean that it is part of the laws of Malawi. According to our constitution, it's supposed to be domesticated under section 211 of the constitution. So perhaps when this matter goes to court, that should be one of the arguments which perhaps the lawyers will have to tussle, whether the Sadc protocol, the Sadc treaty is part of the laws of Malawi, which can be used for purposes of extradition in this particular case. Beyond that, beyond the Sadc treaty, there is an Extradition Act, which governs all sorts of extraditions in Malawi with regard to countries which have got arrangements when it comes to extradition.